Why did you run, Tiernan?
I was the last one to see Evelyn that night. I knew you would think it was me.
Can you describe your relationship with Evelyn?
I barely knew Evelyn.
Keep lying to me and I'll have you charged and in front of a grand jury before your feet touch the ground.
How can you possibly prove Evelyn and I were more than friends?
It's nothing personal. I'm just doing my job. You understand that? Sounds like half an answer to me, Tiernan. Were you sleeping with her?
That's none of your business.
Aristotle's Metaphysics, the book that belonged to McCaffrey.
McCaffrey saw her looking at her once and laughed in her face.
And you're saying Evelyn stole it?
She wanted something of his.
We either hang this on you or McCaffrey. You better give us something.
Well, McCaffrey's been in trouble with the law before. I mean, he always makes out it was some kind of labor dispute. But, you know, I'm not so sure.
You and Evelyn were drinking together last night, and she had no other place to stay.
I don't know what happened last night. I don't remember.
If you don't give me some reason to think differently about this, Tiernan, I'm gonna have to go to the DA.
I drank half a bottle of scotch. I don't remember a goddamn thing.
Do you own a car, Tiernan?
No, I don't.
Have access to a lug wrench?
Well, we use a lot of them to clear jams in the pin setting machines.
Coroner's report says that Evelyn was killed with a wrench. I think you did it and then planted the evidence at McCaffrey's apartment for us to find.
We went to his apartment. McCaffrey was up on the roof. Evelyn stole the book. McCaffrey went crazy when he found out. He said he would put her out of her misery. He can be very cruel.
Evelyn was missing a ring from her right hand.
That's strange. She always wore it. Big black circular disc with a white E in the middle. It was made from an old typewriter key, a present from the prop department at her old movie studio.
We're going to talk to McCaffrey. You need to think about what you've told us, Tiernan. You're not in the clear. You ready to answer some questions?
You think I have all the answers?
People who run from the police usually have something to hide.
Touché, detective. Let's see where this takes us.
You told us you barely knew Evelyn Summers.
She hung around sometimes. I had very little to do with her.
You'll have to do better than that, Grosvenor. We know about you and Evelyn.
Evelyn was a lush, and a boring one at that. You can't link her to me. Seems there's a serious gulf between what you think you know and what you actually do, detective.
Evelyn died sometime around midnight. Remind me, where were you?
I was at home, writing. I'm working on a manuscript.
You're gonna need to do better if you don't want to swing for this.
I was having a political meeting in my apartment.
Cheese and crackers for the 5th columnist.
Some of these people will corroborate your story.
I won't give up names of party members.
Good. It's your funeral.
We found the lug wrench that Evelyn was battered with in your apartment, and the note from her mother, and your blood-stained clothing. We have you cold, McCaffrey.
You think if I could be bothered to murder Evelyn Summers, I would be stupid enough to leave the evidence in my apartment?
If it was planted there, then some evil mastermind must be at work here. You got a name, McCaffrey?
Tiernan. Who else?
I was under the impression you thought Tiernan incapable of tying his own shoelaces.
It's either going to be you or Tiernan, Grosvenor.
Make it stick, detective. The party has good lawyers.
I think we bust in there and find the goddamn thing.
The thing was, he was a really nice guy. I felt lousy collaring him.
Are you drunk, mister, or you just cracked?
Operator, give me dispatch.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need the jacket on a Grosvenor McCaffrey.
Just a moment, Detective. McCaffrey was formerly under surveillance by the Red Squad. Convictions for petty theft. Dishonorable discharge from the Army during training at Syracuse. Assault on a local woman. Says he almost beat the woman to death.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm thinking of moving up to a 45. I want to put him down to 1 round.
You were in the war?
Yes, I was. Seeing the things that I saw, it changes a man. I came back here determined to change things. All I wanted was a pen and an opportunity to speak out.
You told us before that you had only minor run-ins with the police. You didn't mention petty theft.
I've never been in trouble for violence. That's the salient point here, isn't it?
You're lying, McCaffrey. You have a history of violence towards women.
How do you turn a couple parking tickets and a petty theft misdemeanor into an assault charge?
We know all about you and your dishonorable discharge, beating some poor woman near to death in Syracuse. You've never been in combat, McCaffrey. Your whole life is a fraud.
She was a goddamn peasant whore! She tried to steal from my wallet. I could have fought for this country. I could have...
You beat her because she stole from you, because she tried to outsmart you.
The ignorant audacity of the bitch. What is a man supposed to do? Sit there and take it? How is a man supposed to call himself a man?
And Evelyn Summers, a poor, drunken nobody, stole your book.
And she got what was coming to her.
Grosvenor McCaffrey, I'm charging you with the murder of Evelyn Summers. She was a sad lady who never hurt anyone except herself. I hope God finds a way to forgive you.
Congratulations, boys. You bagged the fine catch. Another red to boot. Grand. Now, I want you to put this business about a repeat offender out of your mind. This McCaffrey creature shows no remorse, and neither will the grand jury. You would have to walk a long mile to find a better candidate for an unmarked plot in the prison graveyard.
We have lost most of Shaughnessy and Dunn's squad. The gunny is dead. First platoon is in worse shape. That medic is either crazy or the bravest man alive.
Can we rally with the first and try for the Nambus?
It's sheer to the left. To the right, it goes right through a pass with 2 Nambus and enfilade.
Mate,
we can lose everyone.
Lieutenant! Get back off this fucking bridge! They'll start walking the mortars back to their own positions! We only have minutes!
I'm in charge here, Sergeant!
Get your men off the bridge, Lieutenant!
What's your unit, Sergeant?
We don't have time for this, Lieutenant!
What's your unit, Sergeant?
I company 22nd Marines, Lieutenant, and we just saved your ass by fording the river.
My orders are to reconnoiter the...
I think that point is now moot! You have 10 men left! My orders are to save what's left! Move out!